What if the most dangerous move you could make is simply trying to go home? While the world is focused on Meghan Markle's highly publicized meetings behind palace gates, another royal figure is quietly plotting a return to British soil, defying a series of severe unspoken warnings. She isn't looking for a grand spotlight, she is running out of options. But stepping foot back in London could trigger a trap she might never escape. Make sure you watch this video to the very end, because we are pulling back the curtain on the secret family deal, the mounting financial ruin, and the terrifying reason why her homecoming could end in a legal disaster. If you love diving deep into the untold stories and hidden drama of the world's most famous families, take a second to make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have some incredible stories lined up that you won't want to miss. For Sarah Ferguson, the absolute worst-case scenario isn't being frozen out by King Charles, ignored by London's elite, or having her title as the Duchess of York stripped away. It is the very real cold dread of stepping off a private jet and being met by law enforcement on the tarmac. According to sources, Sarah's inner circle has issued a stark warning. While high society is prepared to permanently lock their doors to her, her deepest worry goes far beyond social exile. Insiders say she is privately haunted by the legal traps waiting for her the moment she steps foot back on British soil. Rumors indicate that the fallout from the unsealed Department of Justice files has created a relentless storm around her former associate, Jeffrey Epstein. The sudden, historic arrest of her ex-husband, former Prince Andrew, has only intensified her panic. With US congressional investigators reportedly demanding answers about past financial ties, any return to the UK could expose her to aggressive financial audits, deep-dive investigations, or even handcuffs. She is trapped in an impossible corner. The pressure is rising daily, and her legal advisors have made it clear that her safety net has completely evaporated. Yet, with her bank accounts draining and her credit cards pushed to their absolute limits, she might be forced to run straight back into the lion's den. And to escape this suffocating pressure, she did what anyone under threat would do. She fled the country in secret, seeking refuge in a place where the cameras and the investigators could never track her down. Deep within the snow-covered peaks of the Austrian Alps lies a high-end fortress of secrets where the wealthy go to disappear. This is the exclusive Maylife Wellness Resort in Altaussee, a sanctuary costing upwards of £2,000 a night. For months, a guest matching Sarah Ferguson's description stayed entirely out of sight, relying on room service to avoid the lobby, the pool, and any wandering eyes. Reports suggest she went to extreme lengths to cover her tracks, actively laying false breadcrumbs to keep the press and investigators off her trail. But hiding in a mountain paradise is a luxury she can no longer afford. While isolating in her suite, she watched the world move on without her. Rumors indicate she looked on in disbelief as King Charles extended an olive branch to Meghan Markle, welcoming her back for highly publicized family meetings. To Sarah, it must have felt like a bitter betrayal. While Meghan was being received by the monarch, Sarah was left stranded in exile, having recently been evicted from her beloved home at Royal Lodge and stripped of her official royal standing. Yet, the ultimate crisis wasn't her damaged pride, it was her rapidly draining bank account. When the press finally tracked down her secret location, the bubble burst. She fled the resort in a panic, realizing she had nowhere left to run and no money to fund her disappearance. Backed into a corner, she knew she had only one card left to play. She reached out to her family, organizing a highly emotional secret meeting in Salzburg that would push her daughters to their absolute limits. While the rest of the British monarchy stood on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, waving to cheering crowds, two prominent family members were completely missing. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie skipped the annual Trooping the Colour ceremony entirely, slipping out of the country on a highly confidential journey. Reports suggest that after attending a high-society wedding in Vienna, the sisters secretly travelled hours out of their way to the historic city of Salzburg. They weren't there for sightseeing. According to sources, the sisters arranged a clandestine, highly emotional reunion with their mother, Sarah Ferguson, who had been quietly hiding out in the region. The moment the doors closed, the former Duchess reportedly broke down. The reality of her situation could no longer be hidden behind brave public statements. Insiders say Sarah confessed a terrifying truth to her daughters. Her financial runway has completely ended. Her credit cards are maxed out, her standard streams of income have completely dried up, and her ex-husband has been left entirely powerless to help her after being cut off by the king. She was living on the edge, trapped in a foreign country with the walls rapidly closing in. Rumors indicate she made it clear to Beatrice and Eugenie that she could not survive in exile any longer. Backed into a corner, Sarah presented her daughters with a desperate, high-stakes demand that would force them to make an impossible choice, one that could instantly ruin their own standing with King Charles. To save herself, a desperate mother is forcing her own children to choose between their family and their crown. According to sources, Sarah Ferguson's plea to Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie during their secret reunion was simple, direct, and completely devastating. She reportedly begged them to fund her quiet return to the United Kingdom, asking them to rescue her from her current nightmare. With her ex-husband Andrew frozen out and unable to secure a single penny of financial aid from King Charles, Sarah made it clear that her daughters are her absolute last hope. But this request puts Beatrice and Eugenie in an agonizing, almost impossible position. Insiders say the sisters are deeply torn. They love their mother and are terrified of her failing health and rising desperation. But helping her means stepping onto a dangerous legal and social landmine. If they fund her return or publicly align with her right now, they risk destroying their own carefully built, fragile reputation within the modern royal family. Even worse, they could face the quiet, devastating wrath of King Charles, who has worked tirelessly to distance the monarchy from this specific cloud of controversy. But Sarah is reportedly running out of time, and the pressure she is putting on her daughters is reaching a boiling point. The girls know that a single wrong move could completely ruin their own lives, and as the family remains fractured over this impossible choice, the dream of a quiet, peaceful homecoming is rapidly slipping away, replaced by a much harsher reality. Meghan Markle's highly publicized meetings with King Charles and Queen Camilla proved that even the most fractured family dynamics can be managed under the right conditions. But Sarah Ferguson's situation is entirely different. For the former Duchess, there will be no grand cameras, no olive branches, and no public redemption arc. Reports suggest that Sarah has privately accepted a harsh reality. Her days as a public royal figure are permanently over. She has reportedly made peace with that fact. She isn't looking for a glamorous return to the spotlight or trying to win back her stripped titles. Instead, according to sources, her goals have shrunk down to the absolute bare minimum. All she wants now is a normal family life, a quiet place to live, and the chance to be near Princess Beatrice, Princess Eugenie, and her grandchildren. But even a quiet, hidden life in London might be completely out of reach. Insiders indicate that her closest friends have issued a brutal warning. A low-profile return will not be easy. London's exclusive social circles are prepared to ice her out, and the public backlash remains a constant threat. The damaging headlines haven't disappeared, and neither has the intense scrutiny regarding her past ties to wealthy donors. She is realizing that you can't simply erase the past just because you ran out of money. The countdown has begun. With her daughters feeling the immense pressure and the palace keeping a watchful eye, Sarah is forced to make the ultimate choice. She can either remain a transient runaway in foreign countries or step back onto British soil and face whatever consequences are waiting for her. And the final decision she makes will alter the trajectory of her family forever. The clock is ticking on Sarah Ferguson's ultimate gamble, and the stakes have never been higher. By pleading with Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie to fund her quiet return, she has thrown her own daughters into a high-stakes conflict with the royal family. The severe warnings she received were not empty threats. Stepping foot back on British soil could instantly trigger a chain reaction she cannot control. If she returns, she risks facing the exact financial and legal storms she spent months running from. But if she stays in exile, she faces a lifetime of isolation, running out of resources and watching her family from afar. Her daughters are left holding the keys to her future, but saving their mother means risking their own titles, their standing, and the wrath of King Charles himself. Will Beatrice and Eugenie take the ultimate risk to rescue Sarah, or will the palace force her to remain a royal runaway forever? it is a devastating choice with no easy way out. But we want to hear from you. Do you think Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie should help their mother return to the UK? Or is the risk simply too high? Sound off in the comments below. We read every single one. If you loved this deep dive into the hidden drama of the royal family, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have some incredible untold stories coming up next, and you won't want to miss a single one. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next story.